Alright, I'm at Lowe's. Dropping off 50,000 pounds of lumber. It is 7:14. And I actually got to turn on my heat this morning a little bit. Because I think winter's almost here, which is awesome. So there's part of my, well, they haven't unloaded anything, but it's only about, I don't know, 5 feet high off the deck, and everything's unstrapped. But that's 50,000 pounds. Seriously, it's like maybe a couple pounds over 50. Pressure treated lumber. And he's going around and scanning all the tags. And then they'll unload it, then I'll get my new assignment, and then I'll drive down the road. Rinse and repeat. That's what this life is. Rinse and repeat. Okay, if you compare the two times, you can say I have impeccable timing, because I'm 4 minutes duration of off duty and I have negative 4 minutes left on my clock. I was grateful that I was not slowed down. Otherwise I would have had to stop about 10 miles down the road at a the only thing closer than this would be a rest stop, and it would have kind of thrown a wrench in my works. It must be time for everybody to get fuel because it's too deep, and once my 30-minute break is complete, I will then go get fuel, because I am in need of fuel, and then I can finish driving with my it rerouted me. I'll have to take a look at that. My GPS does that. When I reach a stop, it will, because it originally had me going through St. Louis, and now it's got me going towards Chicago and then over. So I'll have to do some comparison to see what kind of mileage I got going on here. See if you can see that. So I'm going to Minnesota, and I picked up in Tennessee, and let me show you what I got. Make sure I don't get hit. I got my keys in my pocket. Oh wait, you can't see what I got. I have 7, they're not steel coils in the sense of flat steel, and it's not coiled rod. It's big rolls of steel cable, and up front here I got 2, and then they have 1 right here, and then 2 and 2, and I've got all kinds of straps for them. The way we do our coiled rod is a strap that kind of goes around 2 and connects on both sides, and it's pulling towards the center, which I have made this single coil my center. So the front is being pulled towards that, and the back 2 are being pulled towards that. In addition to that, I've got a strap. Well, on the back I've even got more, but on each set of coils there's a strap that goes through, over the top, and back over to the other side. So it's each section has a secondary strap that will connect on this side, go through the eye, goes over the top, comes back down and back through the eye and connects to the other side. Each one of them has that. In addition to that, the back one and the front one have a strap that just goes through the eye of the coil and holds it down to the deck. And it's on a slight angle. This one is that one that just goes straight through and over to the other side. And it's grabbing these coiled cables, steel cables, and it's about, I don't know, about that big around. And it pulls it slightly forward from the rear and it's kind of the same thing on the front one. It's pulling it slightly to the rear. Hopefully I said that correctly. I'm probably gonna have to maybe redo my tarp here, because this is I have one ugly corner that I'm not too happy with. It is being held down, so I mean it's not going to come loose. It may shake a little bit here, but other than that, you may notice that I've done something slightly different here. I've connected my bungee to these rings and pulled the bungee out. Instead of connecting it to the rub rail, I've gone ahead and put it back up against it in another D-ring. And the reason that is let me point out the difference. There is a nice, good securement. And if you look at these spools, they are round. So if you try to hook a bungee cable end here, it can work its way loose and just kind of pops off of there. So anywhere where I didn't get up into a D-ring, I've actually had to make sure that it could reach a stake pocket, because they have flat angles to work against. Otherwise, see this one right here that's kind of popped up? There is a spool, a round spool there that makes me nervous. Not that it's going to do anything with this particular tarp job, because but I mean, it could be a potential of one bungee coming loose and I have to then reattach it. So yeah, once my 30-minute break is over, because I can't do any work while I'm on my 30-minute break. Once my 30-minute break is over, there's a giant patch right there. The whole bottom of it comes up. So the sun is in my eyes, so sorry. So once my 30-minute break is over, then I can repair that, and I have some vinyl cement. It's very much like rubber cement, and I'll break it. I have a large patchy material, and I'll probably put a patch around that little hole. There's a couple others on here that I wanted to, yeah, see? So I'll put a patch around that. This is, and then there's this one. You can see that this was worn through from a bungee cord. It's usually this, sorry, I gotta point at what I'm talking about, huh? This item right here tends to cause this damage you see in tarps. And that's what caused this is, and you can see it how even this one, am I pointing at it? It started to rub on this part of the tarp. That's another reason why I don't tend to connect up here. But with this trailer, because I do D-ring to rub rail, and this way I don't have any of these metal sharp ends touching my tarp. I know it looks fancier this way, you know, people put their, you know, all these bungees all over their tarps and it looks cool, but it can cause damage to your tarps. And all these little nicks that you see on the tarp or on the D-rings are from bungees, and bungees are supposed to help our tarps, not hurt our tarps. See here, a little bit of rubbing. So I mean, those kind of things can get bad and end up putting holes in your material. So here's another one. I mean, some people would even just turn this tarp in and say, hey, I need a new tarp because of the amount of holes. And I got this off of a load swap. The other tarp that I had, I was thinking about using that one because it looked new, but as soon as I pulled it out, it has a big old cut across the center of it. And I'm like, what good does that do me? I don't want to have to like do a patch job when I'm loading. Luckily today is a nice day, so it gives me some opportunities to take a look at this tarp and patch this in dry weather. There's a There's another one right there. That's a hole. I mean, all those spots need repair. There's one. There's one. Wow, I don't know. I am going by my plan was to go by the Madison yard. Maybe I'll just swap out tarps, because this is a horrendous tarp. When I get done, it's gonna look like a giant patch, because as you can see up here, even the front, yes, I'm gonna have to swing by the Madison yard, and I have to drop off some extra materials anyway. If you can see back here, I've got 8 ratchet binders, and I've got 8 over center binders. I'm not supposed to have that extra stuff, but let's see if you can see this. Originally, it had me going up towards Chicago. Is that even coming in clear? I can't really tell, and I apologize, because the sun, there we go. It originally had me going up towards Chicago for a total of 697 miles. And I cut the route, even just by putting in Madison, Illinois, where my yard is at, as a via, according to my GPS terminology. It shortened it down to 684, so I'm actually saving miles by going by the Madison yard. So you really can't trust your GPS. And when I originally routed this, I knew that it was not as accurate as what I wanted. So comparing it with my map book and Google Maps, I'm able to find a straight as possible route, because that's all you're aiming for, is the straightest route possible in order to minimize your out of route miles. And this one keeps me well below my out of route requirements, which is what I want. And so that's the route I'm going to take. I'm going to go by Madison, drop off all my excess equipment, because I have 8 chains. I have 8 chains, but I also have 8 extra chains from my unfocusing camera. There we go. There's a tarp box on this side, on the passenger side, that holds my steel tarps, and that's where I put the 8 extra chains. So I want to get rid of this extra weight. So I'm well within legal limits right now, but I like to get rid of this extra stuff I don't ever use. So I would never use 16 chains. So I may have had one time where there are times where I use all 8 chains. So, but I don't see where I would ever use 9 or 10 chains. I know there are drivers out there that like to obtain extra equipment, and if that aids them in their securing requirements and needs, great. Maverick has a list which I copied down from my orientation class of these are your equipment items that are assigned to each truck, and how many of each item. And that's all I work with, because that's all I need. I don't think I will ever run into an instance where I do not have the correct number of securements in order to secure my load, because I have, in addition to 8 chains, I have all the straps that I carry. So I mean, there's all these different methods that you can utilize to secure your loads sufficiently and safely, in order to get the job done without having to worry about carrying extra equipment, because all the extra weight from the 8 chains and 4 by, that's extra weight I can't carry. So I run about almost 29,000 pounds with the limited stuff that I bring with me, and I bring sufficient stuff with me. Heck, I got a refrigerator in my truck. But it allows me to carry loads of in excess of 50,000 pounds, which is sometimes unheard of on many trucks, because many times the trucks and their trailer exceed 30,000 pounds, so it limits what you're able to carry. And I don't know if that's a big deal for anybody, but hey, that's my mindset anyway. Well, I got another 9 minutes to stare out my window, and then I'll go get fuel. 7:42, and I don't really know where I'm at. I'm reaching the end of my clock, and I was headed to a Flying J, and I'm like, well, you know what, I'm gonna pick whatever truck stop happens to be within eye shot. I'm at a Conoco. I think I'm off of Highway 42. I'm in Missouri, halfway up Missouri, almost into Iowa. I'm parked over here. This truck's parked over across the street. I bought myself a baked potato. That's what I like Wendy's for. I try to stay away from the fattier foods, but you know what? Those truck stops still get me every once in a while. I said the time, 7:40 something, so I have an opportunity to edit some video and maybe watch a movie. You know, if you don't have enough time to watch a movie, you might be working too hard. But I can deliver my load of coiled cable either tomorrow or the 22nd. But I think I've had a really good run today, and I will be able to deliver tomorrow. So that'll give me an extra run in somewhere. Yeah, I don't know where they'll send me. I'm tired of the guessing game. Anyway, I haven't done this in a while. If you decide to go with Maverick Transportation and my videos helped you make up that decision, I'd be honored if you'd use my name as a referral, because every little bit helps my family.